Okay, we're going to cover step 2 of the setup process. Now this is going to be set work offsets with the probe system. Okay, we have the probe out, we loaded the part, it's all torqued and ready to go. And our setup sheet says x-axis 0 is left jaw, y-axis is back dead jaw, z-axis is part top. So our 0, 0 is the upper left hand corner, so that's what we're doing. We're doing upper left corner, and our 0 is the top of the part, of the finished material. So we can do this in the probing system, and when I do setup, I like to turn the rapid feed rate down immediately. Alright, you have to do that with doors closed. Now in this system, we use the visual quick code system, so we do MDI, program, and then go all the way to the end. Hit enter. Alright, by default when you power the machine up, the probe cycles are not active. This is the visual quick code system, so we want to select a new template. So press F2 for new template and load the wireless probe template in there. Okay, we got probe 1 through 9, 10 through 18, tool setting, probe calibration and help. So 1 through 9 are the easy ones, the ones we use all the time. I'm going to hit enter, and you have 9 selections there. Probe bore is not what we're doing, and if you think, all of these are viewed from the top except for this one, so it's looking at it from this point of view, looking down. So if you've done any manual machining, if you imagine the edge finders on the left side and right side. This would be x-axis, it says X right there, and these say y-axis, front, back, and z-axis top. So these will pretty much do everything you need. So it says we want the left side of the part, x-axis. I'm going to press this one, and right there it tells you what to do. So we used to always write the program first and then put it here, but people would forget where to put it. So right there, it's the little ball is the probe, is the red ruby ball. And this is going to be the contact area. This shank can move around, but also these cost about $100 a piece, and this is $3,000, so you don't want to wreck this thing. And this ball is the point of contact, this sphere here. And this perfectly aligned with the spindle, and it's got a trigger in it that sends a signal to the wireless receiver. So this has batteries in it. So we need to have this ball contact this side. And it's also, this will be the x-axis, this will be the y-axis, and this will be the z-axis. So if we would take this one here, this is a manual probing tool, we need to put it on this side, and only the ball can touch. So that'll be x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. All right. So what we're doing is we're setting this page here with, and I'm going to zero everything out so we have no work offsets. Now normally you don't need to do that, but this is a good way to show if you actually did them or not. We never use the G52, we use the G54 as our primary work offset, and if you're in your CAD/CAM system, WCS 0 or 1 default to the right there, default to the G54 in your program. I'm going to go back to MDI and hit program, because you got to switch from this page to this page. And right now I'm live. I can just press x-axis and move this. Now I could change my increments here. I like calling this small, medium, large. That's 1/10,000ths. This is very, very slow. 1,000ths, slow, and this will be large, 10,000ths, and we have this one locked out, so this is extra large. So if I want to slow it down, I change it to 1,000ths. I want 10,000ths. I'm going to move in this direction and bring it down to Z. So I'm hand cranking it right now. When I get closer, especially this machine likes to run away a little bit, I need to slow down and use the big knurled knob. I come down, I'm going to get a little bit closer. I'm going to go on the y-axis and then in the x-axis. And what they mean by the instructions is handle to within 0.4 or 10 millimeters of surface. So we'll take one of our old edge finders here, and this measures 0.375 or 3/8. So we want about that kind of space in the middle. So if I put this right there, visually, you just need to be visually, shut the doors, and now we have to do programming. If you're in the next gen system, I think you can go right to cycle start, but this one we got to finish answering the questions. We're using offset 54, enter, and we need to shift the program to the MDI page. And now hit enter, and now we have a program. So now do MDI, cycle start. Green lights come on, it touches, and done. So now we have a G54X coordinate there. I'm also going to show you the method that we use a lot for this upper left corner, and we like using these are 3-in-1 cycles right here. So this is probe vice corner. This is vice corner. This is center. This is center apart, and this is corner, but put it in the center. So we like this one here. So here are the instructions right there. Handle the within 0.4 surface over corner. So that's, it says Z surface. So I need to go Z and go up, and then do X. Now the X is aligned. I'm going to do the Y, and just approximate. And I need that spacer, so I got to bring it down a little bit more. I'm going to put it right about there. Okay. So now I'm ready to write the program. That's 54. But now we got to answer 3 questions. X block width. So that's how long the part is. I know I cut it to 5.1. I'm going to put in 5.1. Width is the Y. That'd be the 2-inch number. This one is not how thick the part is. This is how far we're going to go down. And on our sheet, we put a little note here that says G54, and we're going to use minus 0.650. All right, I'm going to put in minus 0.650, enter, and now we can output the MDI. You can also just select number 3. Now it's in there. Just review it, make sure it's correct. Activate MDI and cycle start. Green light on, touches the top. Left side, and that's Z. Now to get the y-axis, that will be all 3. All right, so if you align the stock model, you're really all set to go. We're using Titan setup sheets, so we're doing model setup, which means we're aligned to the model. So we're going to follow the directions on the setup sheet. All right, tips and tricks. If you're going to do any adjustments to anything, it's a good idea to have a copy of the number. And I'm actually going to use an unused offset, or I can write the paper here, minus 3.0341 and minus 14.3372. I have a copy. Now I'm going to make some adjustments. So right here it says X-axis is left edge, move in 0.050 from rough stock and re-zero. Y-axis is back dead jaw, negative 25 re-zero, and Z-axis is negative 20. So we put our own note in here. Left shift is positive 50. Y shift is negative 0.025. And we just made a minor adjustment, and we're just going to shift the Z-axis 10, sorry. And that should be adequate. So if you don't remember the numbers, you could just keep on reviewing the book. Make sure on the X-axis I'm going to type in, and I'm actually going to update our machine right here with some magic marker. This one here. We have two buttons here. I'm going to put plus minus on this one. Put a marker on that one. And a marker on this one. Put right here, force. Calculator. Okay. When you're entering numbers in here, if you're entering a number in here, it's going to add or subtract to this one. If you have a 0, you're only adding to 0. So we always like to use the enter button for a lot of things, but you don't want to use it for everything. So we're adjusting this number. So we're shifting the x-axis to the positive side, 50,000. So I put in 0.050, review the number, hit enter, and double check. Correct. I'm going to move the y-axis minus 0.025, minus 0.025, double check, and enter. And we're going to move the z-axis minus 0.01, double check, enter. And I can see right away that I made all the correct selections. And now we can move the expensive probe out of the way. Bring this up, and I can also do 0 return, pick the z-axis and hit home. That'll go home. So that satisfies now the second part, set work offsets. So now we're going to go to load and set tool offsets.